shell.
And this is what part of Indiana?
Gary.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that's a taco.
That's a taco.
I think I'll be driving through Gary to try to check that out. You got to give me the name of a restaurant so I can check that out. I want to check that out. That's interesting.
I can't tell you the name, but I'll find one out for
All
you.
right. That'll work.
So did you catch her up to date? Are you guys
We
current?
were kind of talking about just moving around a little bit. I kind of talked about Mississippi. You know, I did the
Alcorn.
Yep, Alcorn State University. Yep.
He's out in Arizona. Weren't you out in Arizona for a minute?
No, I was, but I wasn't just the North Dakota area. I did some traveling when I was in North Dakota. We helped open up University of Jamestown. Remember, we came and
I thought you were Southwest. I thought you were in Nevada or something for a minute.
Nah, North Dakota's out that way though.
Close enough. Close
But,
enough.
you know, even with like the stuff that went on with the Flint water crisis, I was able to bring a group of students from North Dakota.
I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it was huge. It was huge. They had never been in this environment. They had never seen it. You know, most of the all of the students
Big John's. I think
we took them to Big John's, and we took them to. We met them at Big John's when Paul came to video, and then before they left, they wanted to go to Halo Burger. They wanted a Boston Cooler.
Nice.
Yeah, so they shared it on Twitter.
Right.
I mean, it was huge. They gave out about 40,000 bottles of water.
Wow,
Yeah,
amazing.
It was huge.
You know we lost Angelo's.
I heard.
Did we lose them or did they move?
They moved. I think they just wanted to. This is just my opinion.
And I
That
think
they wanted to spend more money out in the out county than in the city.
I do too, because
Flint lost it.
there's no reason why they should.
You know, I bet you it's pretty hard keeping employees. I was a regular, not a regular,
Right,
but
right.
you know, we'd look up, it'd be 12 o'clock at
Right,
night,
and let's
we want
go-
to call me, let's go to Angelo's.
Right.
So my kids, when I was young, my dad had a barbecue place that he used to sneak us to late at night.
Mm.
You know, he'd wake us up and throw us in the back of the car, and we'd go to Young's Barbecue and get barbecue. You know,
Okay.
it was a thing.
Right.
It wouldn't happen often, but when it did, you knew it was a thing. So I wanted to recreate something like that for my kids.
Aw.
And we didn't have a barbecue place. But Angelo's did it.
Right.
Angelo's did. They were at the bellied up to the counter when they were 5 years old.
Man.
Wow.
And then I want to say their friends came back into town for the holidays one year. And they all went out to Angelo's.
Right.
That was the spot.
That was one of the things that we were talking about too, how different geographical locations have these stables that are here. You know, I said, you go out to North Dakota, nobody knows about burners. I took a 12-pack out there, you know, and they were like, whoa, can you bring more of this? You know? And I just found out that they're selling it in Texas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it's definitely getting around. I
Awesome.
taking some out to the East Coast too.
I got a job actually, I got paid to take 4 12-packs of burners to Boston.
Wow.
I worked at Shapiro's Market, and one of our customers' daughter was a lawyer in Boston.
Mm.
And they found I was coming to Boston, and they said, "Oh, you got to do this, got to do that."
Yeah.
So they gave me gas money,
Mm.
and then they took me to the fanciest restaurant I've
Okay.
ever been to with my 17-year-old self.
Oh,
Wow.
Morton's. You guys know Morton's?
Yeah. Heard of Morton's.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, they don't even have menus. They just
Oh.
they bring the food around to you on a tray, and you say,
Yes.
I want that."
I like
It's
that.
similar to Fogo de Chao.
Is that it?
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
was
very
wonderful.
similar to that.
So Vernors, I have a fondness for Vernors, and of course that was the when you had a cold
Yeah.
or when you had a sore throat,
Yeah.
you know, Mama would
Upset
warm up
stomach.
some Vernors.
Yeah,
Yeah. That ginger, you know, we didn't know it was the ginger.
Yeah. Yeah.
but Vernors took care of it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why they always say go get a Verner's.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That'll settle that stomach.
It sure will.
Yeah.
It sure will. It's first of the year. Did you guys make any New Year's resolutions?
Yes, to
You
live my
did.
best life.
Well, you do that every day.
No, unconditionally, without caring what anybody else thinks.
Well, come on, Donna, you gotta care.
Not why.
I want to say, well, maybe not care, but knowledge. I mean, they
Why?
exist. They're in your world. You can't just ignore.
Why? Especially if it's negative.
I'm playing devil's advocate here. And I'm having a hard time. Well, that's not bad. Be the best
At whatever it is that I do.
at whatever it is you do.
To my best.
Are you planning
that
on
time.
doing anything new? You going to take up scuba diving or mountain climbing or
Oh, I'm offering
rock
my juice
collecting?
therapy.
Juice therapy?
Experience. I don't want to say weight loss. I don't want to say the things that it does for you.
Okay.
But juice therapy to help offset some of this lead that our water is giving us.
I have a success story.
Yes.
You know how tore up my toenails are?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I started drinking that Silver Biotics.
That's Silverbiotics.
Silver Biotics probably 4 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked down at my toenails and they're growing out right.
Let me tell you this. Now, if you were to do a detox to get rid of that middleman that you got carrying around with you, it would work even better.
You got a detox?
Really?
My juice therapy would work.
We need to have a conversation.
A
Okay.
detox? I don't know if I want to. I like being tox.
No, you don't.
Huh?
No, you
I'm
do
used
not.
to being tox.
That's
Okay,
one of the
now
things
that's
I'm definitely looking to doing a detox because I gained a lot of weight when I moved to North Dakota.
Really?
217 pounds. Now, Paul normally knows and sees me at 165.
Okay.
I've gotten down to about 190.
Let me ask you this. Did it have to do with the weather?
Part of it was the weather. It was just very, very difficult, especially the hours that I worked. I worked in campus services, so you're talking I'm there 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm not leaving until 7, 8 o'clock at night. I'm working sometimes 13-day stretches, you know, working long hours.
Yeah, but the campus is big. Did they give you a golf cart?
Big.
Did they give you a golf
They
cart?
didn't give me a golf cart, but my area was centralized. I'm in a student union building. So I didn't have to really move or navigate unless we had to do certain, you know, events in different parts of the campus.
Okay.
And the way that the campus was set up, it's literally a walkthrough from one building to the next, almost an underground corridor.
Oh, okay.
To kind of keep you from having to deal with a lot of the
Going
the
outside,
weather,
right.
going outside.
Yeah.
So it just, you know, I was doing certain activities. I was behind the desk for a lot of the day because I was, you know, working on numbers and stuff. And, you know, it's easy to put when you got access. It's easy to just put that weight on.
Right.
You know, and then you're so tired and so burned out and then traveling a lot.
Right.
So when
Well, that's
I
where
got
my
to
weight
Jersey, I
come
kind of cut
For
a
what?
lot of it.
That's it. It's winter weight. I was
Yeah.
bulking up like the whales and the seals do, so that I could live off the fat over the summer. These are stores. These are stores.
I tried to hold
No, you didn't.
that.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
That was a pitiful haul.
Listen, I get it. Well, in this mall, I had to evict some clients. In this
Okay,
mall.
right.
You know, so I got the store kind of compact. It's a strip mall now.
All right. Yes.
I'm not mad at you. Listen, I got this Apple Watch, and it's the best thing I've ever done because it tells me.
I almost got one.
It tells me that I'm messing up. It tells me that I'm doing good. It tells me when to stand up, which is amazing because you never just think about it. I'm sitting working. And my phone, my watch ring. I said, "Boy, you need to stand up.
Right.
You need to stand up." And just that kind of reminder. I got one that reminds me to breathe.
What?
It's a breathing.
Did you stop breathing or something?
It notices.
Well, you know what the problem is, as adults, we forget how to breathe for real. We start shallow breathing. The older we get, the more shallow breathing we do.
This thing scared me
it's
to death.
right.
The
So
alarm went off, said my heart stopped.
Did it really?
You're sitting still, and your heart rate went from 86 to 104.
Huh.
I could only
Warning.
imagine how helpful that would be for somebody who has issues with that, like when they sleep. People have sleep apnea, and things of that sort.
Right.
Yeah. Huh.
Man,
It's fabulous, you know.
amazing.
So I think in 2019, I'm just going to pay more attention to it.
Good.
You know, maybe
Good.
even look at the laws and see exactly what I'm doing. I got another one that tells me to drink water.
Wow.
It's time for you to have a glass of water, Paul.
I like
You have
that.
not had a glass of water,
Hmm.
and however many minutes, it's time for you to have some water.
Mm.
They say you're supposed to drink like half your body weight or something in water.
You know, it
There's
depends
some
who
rule,
you
right?
talk about, who you talk to.
Well, I'm not doing that.
She's the expert. She would know.
So, what are your New Year?
I don't make New Year's resolutions.
Okay.
I'd rather lie.
Only because, you know, sometimes I think we take different seasons and we decide, you know what, I'm going to do this at the beginning of this season, and then it falls off. So I just, you know, try to incorporate changes as I see fit. You know, there are certain things that, you know, yeah, I think I'll change moving forward, but I think that came over just time of growth. Not necessarily because, we started a new year.
Right.
So.
Right.
Well, you know what I found myself doing this year, which I haven't done before?
And what's that?
I avoided all the memoriams. I didn't want to see them. You know, we lost Prince, we lost Aretha Franklin, we lost all these people. And you know, when it goes like that, it's like, oh man.
Right.
The list of ahead of me is getting shorter and shorter.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just couldn't bring myself.
Well, see, and that's why I said I want to live my best life as best that I can without having to be aware of what someone else thinks I should or should not be doing.
Oh, can't that motivate you?
You can, yeah.
I mean, if it's somebody you admire, somebody you respect, a mentor, and they give you some critical information, right?
Mm-hmm, but it's my choice to do whatever it is that if I, want to do that or not.
I know you want to go to the dance competition or the theater competition. Was that in New Jersey? Where'd you tell me that was?
Oh,
the Black Theater.
National Black Theater Festival. That's in Raleigh, Durham.
Raleigh,
North
Durham,
Carolina.
North Carolina. Okay.
That's where.
Cool.
That's what's the guy that was here last week.
I'm trying to think with your friend. Oh, Ted.
That was
No. Ted wasn't here.
no.
Ted didn't come. Who was that?
Jared, is that his name?
Oh, Jake. Jake
Yeah.
Carroll. Yeah.
And I was surprised that he knew about sweet potato.
Oh, he reads up.
I was
You know you're gonna get
impressed.
a phone call that week.
I was impressed with that one.
Good.
Yeah, I was impressed.
So that's on your calendar, right? You're gonna do that?
No, I hadn't. That's not what I had planned to do.
Oh.
What I do plan to do is go to AXO in Detroit this year.
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, it's in Detroit this year.
Yes.
That's gonna make it nice. My kids grew up in Axel.
Yeah.
It was fabulous.
Absolutely. Again, I can't talk about it enough.
Well, give a shout out to Ella Green Moten, and she's the one that's running the show.
Ella
there.
Green Moten, yes.
What dedication.
Yes.
It's got to be 15 years now.
Right. It's amazing. It's just
Her baby's grown, her grandbaby's grown, and she's still doing
it. Right.
My hero.
Mm-hmm.
My hero. When I grow up, I want to be just like her.
Pulled in all types of directions.
Pulled in all types of directions. That's when you know you're alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was trying to remember. They said the lifespan of a star is who's Paul Herring, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get me Paul Herring.
Right.
Get me a Paul Herring. And then who's Paul Herring? And I don't know where I'm at.
I was getting ready to ask that. Your next question. Where are you in that?
I hope I'm still on the ride.
I think it might be who's Paul.
Well, that means he's at the beginning of the cycle.
Right.
You got a long way to go, Paul. Long way to go.
I'll take that. I'll take that by any means
Interesting she brought up
necessary.
sweet potatoes because today is Carver Day.
Is it George Washington Carver?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh my God, he was a remarkable man.
Was he?
Sweet potatoes, peanuts, and a host of other things. You talking about a man that knew what he was doing, and he had the wherewithal to go within himself to get all of this information. He wasn't studying stuff.
He wasn't college educated.
He, as he said, I read his little book,
Mm-hmm.
and he said that all of those things spoke to him and told him what to do with it. Isn't that amazing?
Mm-hmm.
When you can sit down and meditate enough to let stuff speak to you.
I know we have the ability.
We have the ability.
I know we have the ability.
But
I
we're
mean,
so busy in our heads to where we can't hear the soft, still voice of God, universe, whatever you want to call it.
Well, you know, I have another theory. We've been solving the cancer problem and the muscular dystrophy problem for 50 years. It's kind of like the guy who invented the rape whistle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Daughter got raped, wanted to stop rape,
Mm-hmm.
invented the rape whistle.
Mm-hmm.
But now he's counting on rape to
To
sell
get
his
the
whistles.
whistle. Right.
You see what I'm saying? When
Right.
rape goes down, he doesn't sell whistles, he doesn't make any money.
Right.
I think we need to spend the money unlocking the rest of the brain.
Right.
You know, if they say
Right.
we're using 10%, 3%, 6%, 2%, well, come on now.
But see,
Let's put all guns towards figuring out what that other 85% is for.
well, a lot of it is just pure imagination, creativity. But they've taken all of that out of the school system.
But, I mean, they showed us where that was in the little part of the brain that's the size of a peanut.
But it's supposed to grow. because that's where all of our creative juices come from. Whatever you feed, it grows. So we're not feeding it enough.
Wow, that's a good theory. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that, and I bet you we have to feed it juice.
Yes, you have to do juice therapy.
The only way to get food to your brain.
Of course not.
I'm sorry, that was a bogus plug. Let me remind you guys, you're listening to WFOV 92.1 LP FM Flint. It's Our Voices Radio. It's a community service of Flint Odyssey House. And, you know, we're determined to make a difference. But we need you to, too. Okay? We want to make Flint a great place to make better, right? That's what I say? Flint's a great place to make better. So if you're doing something with your church, your social club, your clique, your neighborhood group, your block party, man, you think of it, we want to know about it. Summer's coming up. Feels like summer today. This is a mess.
Isn't it beautiful?
It's just a beautiful.
Man.
You would think it was September, right?
Right.
If you've got an event coming up that you need people to know about, give us a call, 810-259-9789. That's 810-259-9789. We want to be that soapbox. We want to be that voice. We want to help you get your message out. Again, we're a community service of Flint Odyssey House, and you're listening to Eclectic Ramblings on WFOV 92.1 LP FM Flint. You like my radio voice?
I do. I'm tripping, Paul, because, you know, this is like the manifestation of what many conversations that you and I had.
Right.
You know, talking about you wanted to do the radio station, and I remember when I first hooked up with Paul, I had taken a position at the Urban League of Flint, and he was doing his tapings in the auditorium, and had auditions for Common Ground.
Oh,
So
really?
my audition actually turned into an interview. I ended up coming on the show, and I was with you for years.
Yeah.
I was with him up until the time I moved.
The Urban League was a blessing.
Yeah.
I mean, Mel Brandon thought I was the craziest thing since sliced bread.
Thought.
Yes, well, I was. I agree.
Was.
He didn't understand. I was like 19 years old.
Was. You still are.
You ahead of your time.
And he just thought I was the craziest thing he'd ever said. Boy, I need a ride to Cleveland. Come on, take my car. We rode to Cleveland, and he shook his head so many times that the car was swaying down the road. You just don't make no sense, son. But I really liked him. I liked what they were doing over there, and I always felt that it was underrepresented, underserved, undermarketed.
I agree.
And people didn't appreciate the gem that it was.
Was it unappreciated, or was not well educated?
Uses weren't supporting it.
Was it because of lack of education about what it was supposed to do?
It all boiled down to marketing. It all boiled down to marketing.
I think marketing was a big piece. I think funding was an issue too. I remember when I worked there, we had certain funds that kind of came in because there, grants come in waves.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So it was a campaign that was running at the time, and then it was just being creative to find another grant to support it. But there were so many challenges that had taken place, even in in keeping the doors open, the challenges in the building. Mm-hmm. You're talking about being in the elementary school.
Right.
I mean, it's
with a boiler.
Right, exactly. So, just turnover. People, like myself, who moved on to other companies, made more money.
Right.
Had other opportunities. So, being able to retain talent.
That was one of the best things about the Urban League. It was a springboard.
Yeah, it was.
It allowed you to come from street to corporate to business. I mean, it polished you whether you wanted it to or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, it'd take you out of your comfort zone. I know that I used to teach the job readiness class.
Did you?
I had a ball, girl.
Did you?
I had a ball. I did a session on first impressions. And I would sit down at the table with them, and they wouldn't know I was a teacher. I had a T-shirt on, and short pants on, and then I'd start stuff. It's 5 after. I got stuff to do. What's this in? I get them all rallying, all getting mad. I'm going to get this smoke. And I walk out the room and put my suit on and come back in and say, let's talk about first impressions.
Oh, wow. That was amazing. I like it.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
I can only do it 3 times.
They told on you.
But it worked while it worked.
Right.
It worked while it worked.
It's definitely a need for it, man, in our community. So.
I think we got some challenges here in Flint, but I think they can all be accomplished.
I do.
We are so small
We are.
that it doesn't take a lot. But when you're talking about grants for the Urban League, I find it amazing that the grants will let you rent things and lease things, but it won't let you buy them.
Right.
So the stage that the Urban League could have bought with the first grant money and had a performance space, they had to keep renting from folks outside of the community to do this stuff. So it's amazing. And I guess surviving on grants just isn't the way to go unless you really have an army of folks together to find you that grant to buy capital.
And you definitely have to have what they call the fund development.
Somebody told me that you can't pay a grant writer a percentage of the grant anymore. That's illegal.
Really?
Wow.
Usually it was, okay, write yourself in for 20% or whatever we get. And they're saying you can't do that anymore. At least my brother told me. Maybe that's a natural.
I was it could be different.
It could be depending on the location. It could be that could be state. It could be federal. I don't know. I can't say I've heard that.
Wow.
So being in the ministry, what do you think about?
I know she didn't jump there, did she? Go ahead.
What's church and state? That's
What do you feel about the 501c3 with churches versus just being a nonprofit? How do you feel about that?
What do you specifically mean?
As far as getting grant funding,
I think it could be an excellent tool, and I think it has been an excellent tool for some. I think that they've used it. Some people have used it as springboards. I also think, and it's not just local to churches, but even other nonprofit organizations that that has not been used to its fullest potential, and in some instances we're probably even taken advantage of. So, I mean, it really just depends. Every scenario is different. There's no cookie cutter answer.
This is true. This is true.
But wait a minute now. What I've been told, and this is just recently, because one of my goals was to create a nonprofit. But once you create a nonprofit, you give up all control.
Yeah, you no longer own that nonprofit. It belongs to the
people.
State,
the people.
Right. So yes,
why
it's
would
no
you
longer
want
your
to
baby. Because
do
most
that?
people don't understand that they lose control.
And then there are other designations too. That's a tax exempt designation.
Right. The C.
Right. So I mean, there are other things that you can kind of look at. It's similar to like you got a 401k, but you got a 401(3)(b).
Right.
So there's you got to check the law.
And that's the thing. Most people hear things and they just jump on what they hear instead of doing the research for themselves and finding out what really works best for you.
Like I remember going to school. I got my undergrad in accounting, and I remember going to school and everybody was talking about becoming a CPA, because that's what everybody knew.
Right.
But there's a certified managerial accountant exam.
Right.
There's several different exams that you can take to become certified as an accountant, just in a different area.
Right.
So, but if you've not been exposed to it,
Right.
and haven't had conversation and dialogue,
there you go.
which I think Eclectic Ramblings is a great forum
Right.
to do
learn,
some stuff like that
learn,
and learn some things.
Right. So that's why we try to pick up people off the street like we did you. Say, hey, you, come here.
Off the street.
Yeah, it was off the street, I guess.
The crack pipe out of the head.
Let me tell the folk about my side habit. We're kidding, people. We're kidding. You know what's crazy, Paul, is before I did TV with you, my first love was radio. I did radio.
Did you?
Yep, I did.
Well, you have the voice for it.
Do I? Well, thank you.
Same with I can see you being in that area that you got your doctorate in.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Because that voice says that.
Well, I learned a lot.
Is that an insult or a compliment?
It's not an insult.
That's a compliment.
Are you trying to cause some friction up in here?
He's trying to put a twist on the Eclectic Ramblings, right?
That's what he does all the time.
It's my job. So, do seasons. What do we do with that?
So it's still in operation.
What?
My nephew is running that.
The tall.
Yep. Yep. My nephew is running that. I put him in that role. He's grown a lot. He teaches very simplistic lessons to really help people get it. Nothing real deep and complex.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't take you there with
that was a private conversation.
It was.
Asking going to get around to it. She doesn't wait for you to get around to that. So, on the north side of Flint, launched the ministry about almost 14 years ago.
Yes.
Yep. Due Season Ministries was and then became Due Season Family Life Center. So my nephew has sat under me in ministry. when I left and relocated, put it in his hands. He's very capable.
Awesome.
And doing good things. Had a family and friends day a couple months ago.
I like he brought daughter to church in the middle of the neighborhood.
Yeah, right in the hood, right down the street from where I grew up.
Amazing.
Yep. So and own the property. So half that block, that's ours. Yep. So learned a lot and learned that kind of stuff from Paul.
Okay.
Having that kind of dialogue and conversation about actually owning something.
Right,
So
right.
it was a great opportunity. I think it kind of fell in our lap. We were in a building on the east side, and it
Nothing just falls in your lap. It was destined for it to happen.
Yeah, but the way we perceive it is that it falls in our lap because we don't know where it was coming from.
Not
that it's chance, or not that it's a gamble, not that at all.
No.
She's saying the same thing. Falling in your lap and destiny is the same thing.
It's
the same
It was destined.
You take your lap everywhere you go.
Yes.
You do, don't you? You do.
It just hides on you.
Only shows up at the opportune time
when you need it.
Right.
When you need it.
So my nephew, he's handling that. And he's doing well. So just had an engagement outside of the ministry, and so he's doing some things and growing in some areas and things that's what I'm proud of.
So I'm gonna ask you twofold.
All right.
You're out in North Dakota and you're now in Jersey.
Yes.
In North Dakota, when you told people you were from Flint, what was their response?
Oh my God, you from Flint? I'm so sorry.
Oh baby.
Seriously, because around the time that I moved to North Dakota, the water crisis had just hit. So it started like taking off like wildfire. People that just watch MSNBC, I come to work the next day and people are shaking their heads. I'm just so sorry for what's happening in your town. So what that did was, though, created a springboard. So what they did was they began to support anything that I did that was a cause for Flint. So much so that I was in the newspaper 3 times.
I'm selling tickets for an airplane ticket to Fiji.
So this is what they did. They actually had a council that helped organizations or helped different areas. They would raise money for water. The students sold their tickets for their banquet to raise money for the water crisis. So I was presented with checks to do certain things. We purchased a bunch of water, gave it out. One of the buildings.
Semi-truck, right?
Yep, we brought a semi-truck from Kansas City, Missouri, I believe it was. It came. I've had different people from different organizations that have come and done stuff. We had one that came from Tennessee.
Wow.
We've had some supporters that came out of Chicago. Even Atlantic City, they had me come and do something.
Timing is everything.
Yep.
So now I'm going to ask in reference to Jersey.
Yep.
When you tell people you're from Jersey, what do you get?
I'm from Flint. When I'm in Jersey,
Mm-hmm.
oh wow, you from Flint? Wow. It's more of a wow than I'm sorry. And then they may ask questions or whatever, and sometimes they're insensitive and crack those water jokes. I never thought they were funny.
Nor did
So when you give them a straight face and they crack the water joke, it's kind of like, oh, my bad, yeah.
I like water jokes. Tell me some water jokes. I'm ready for a good water. I need a good water joke.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
I was the first one to make an inappropriate joke.
I'm sure you
About
were.
the water. Yes.
I could see that.
I made and packaged instant Flint water crisis packets. And they were just little plastic baggies with lead weights. And it said, just add water.
Wow. But see, at least his jokes make you think.
Yeah.
I mean, just inappropriate stuff. And I mean, it's, not everybody did it.
Okay.
But you had a few that's kind of like, okay, yep, no. So then I would put it back in their lap. I'll say, well, I guess that would be funny if it wasn't your 76-year-old mother that had to cook and clean and buy the water.
Right.
Then it kind of puts it in perspective and it's like, oh, yeah, I'm kind of being a jerk. You kind of are.
Well, that's perfect response.
Yeah.
Perfect response.
So, I mean, it's cool. I grew from it. I grow from it.
Right.
We have, conscious conversations. There's a couple of nonprofits that did some
But
things
there's a
with
big
Flint.
difference between the beginning of the crisis and the end in New Jersey, or the continuation.
Right,
of it.
right, absolutely.
It was fresh, and those folks needed a cause.
They did newspaper articles based on what was going on in Flint. Once I had moved to that area, they allowed me to do a couple of radio shows.
Wow.
I did a couple of newspaper articles, and they gave us a forum at the university to actually talk about it. So I had an hour to talk about it. Roundtable discussion. Faculty and staff came. They, had dialogue. They raised money, but then they put me on the university show and let me talk about it. So we had callers that called in and things of that sort. So a couple of organizations, the Rotary Club, the Lions Club, gave money. They sent some to Flint. Some they presented checks and then sent it to organizations that we referred them to. But then the newspaper in Grand Forks, North Dakota, ran a front page special on the sustainability of their water system and did the comparison to Flint.
Nice.
So it started awareness out there, you know.
And
I mean,
just the funk.
Just the thought.
Just the funk. It all started with Common Ground. Huh?
Wow.
And well, I don't know. You were headed to the pulpit anyway, so you were a public speaker anyway. You
I told you that voice.
Yeah.
That's
I'm just Jay.
Dr. J.
I'm just Jay. You know, you know, just like anybody else, man. I grew up in the city. I got a love for this city. Just because I left the city doesn't mean I don't love the city.
So let me ask you this question: when you go do your TED Talk, have you thought about doing a TED Talk?
Somebody mentioned to me about doing this TED Talk. That's what's crazy. Wow. I don't know. Maybe that's some dialogue we can have. You can help me with that.
That's a 2019 project.
Okay.
I love TED Talks.
Me too.
I love it.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I use it on the road to stay awake.
That and motivational speakers, period.
At the same time,
Yes.
yeah. But I mean, even, you know, when you're driving, music will get monotonous.
Oh my God, you want to kill somebody.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Even talk radio gets monotonous.
Yes.
When you go to Ted's app, I suggest everybody has Ted's app on their phone.
Yes.
And you tell it, I got 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Hit me with something.
Yes.
Surprise me.
Yes.
You know, you never know what you get.
Never know. You know, my favorite story, it happens about Thanksgiving, and it's NPR story about turkeys. How turkeys took over this whole town. It was amazing.
I think I've heard that story.
It's about Tom the turkey.
Yes.
Tom was something else. Tom was something else. And it's a true story.
Wow.
True story.
The Garrison Keillor story?
He terrorized the whole... They had to kill Tom.
Wow.
Tom was good eating.
Tom got killed, and his friends, they formed a gang. And the whole gang used to terrorize the whole town.
Wow.
I like NPR. I like them all.
Me too, yes.
Love Ted.
Yes.
Jarvis, it's been great having you here. You're here for a couple of days, right?
Yep. Here for a couple of days.
Here for a couple of days, so we'll see you again. I'm like, I might make you buy me dinner or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't mind spending money on the phone.
You know, you gotta get what you can get when you can get.
I like the way you said that. I might make you buy me dinner.
Yeah, well,
And you're supposed to say, I might give you the pleasure, the opportunity.
offer you the opportunity to get up off some cash.
You make it so appealing.
Right. How can anyone resist that offer?
He's like, I'm gonna take you to Angelo.
Couple counties.
No, listen, the one on door.
Meet me over there.
We're not gonna tell y'all what time other people might show up.
I could see where that could be a problem. Man, it's just I'm really looking forward to doing the dodgeball. We're doing the Urban Families
Yes, that's
dodgeball.
gonna be so exciting.
We're gonna start really early. As soon as it gets to be days like this, on the regular.
So you're doing it ongoing?
Well, I'm calling it a fundraiser for the Juneteenth Father's Day cookout.
Gotcha.
We do the Father's Day cookout, but the dodgeball is designed to pay for it.
Gotcha.
So what I'm doing is I moved from Kersley Street down to 501. You know where 501 Grill is?
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's 3rd Street. It's 3rd Street.
Okay.
A little more visible.
Okay.
I thought about going down to 2nd. I just don't know. I just wanted to get into the mix, and we're going to do it with the art walk.
Which one is second?
Second is where the Rite Aid is, and the post office used to be. The Foster's Coffee is there now, and they're doing all that work on what used to be Mac Beef.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right there.
Okay.
And actually, where Elga's going. Elga's supposed to have a branch or ATM set up or something down there.
Okay.
But we're going to use that as our dodgeball location. We're going to start as soon as the weather breaks, and we're going to do it in conjunction with the Greater Flint Arts Council's Art Walk.
So that's on the second
Friday
of each month.
Yeah. And then we'll ramp it up. As we get to, closer to June, we may start doing it every Friday.
That would be great.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a ball.
Yeah.
I was over at Kevin Skronsky, I get his name wrong, at the city, wanted me to look at McKinley Center, the old rec center, and they got the tennis courts there.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, boy, that could be dodgeball
heaven.
real easy.
Right.
It's just that it's so far off the beaten track. It's got to
It
be a
is.
destination. Nobody's going to see us
Yeah,
back
you
there.
want something that's highly visible.
But I think
Right.
if we build it up
Right.
on
There and then
3rd
move it.
Avenue,
And move
we
it.
could do weekends or
Right,
other
right,
competitions
right,
there.
Right.
Guys, we're out of time.
Huh. Time sure does go by fast.
It flies when you're having fun.
Yes.
And even when I'm talking to you.
Huh. And you laugh.
I at least hit my face when I laughed.
I'd
wasn't trying
appreciate
to-
that.
You did.
I wasn't trying to, you know.
Revenge is sweet. She laughed at me earlier. Then you couldn't hold it in. I was trying to be all serious. We were chuckling for no reason. Guys, so glad you joined us. It's Eclectic Ramblings right here on Wfov 92.1 LP FM Flint. I'm going to say goodbye, but I'm going to let Donna say goodbye first.
It was wonderful being with you guys today. Thanks for listening.
And Jarvis, you can go ahead and say goodbye.
Appreciate you all. Glad to be back in Flint for a minute. Enjoy your day.
Yay. And I'm going to leave you guys with Shantae Smith's Emergency. And I'm going to say, Mom, all the good I do is because of you. Oh, that's what you call it. Let's do this.
Yay, that was fun.
Yeah, that was cool.
Thank you for your assistance with my phone.
Oh, no problem.
What is all that going on? It's playing.
Who's
Something's
who's
running
the
in.
Shantae person?
This is one of the guys that works for Odyssey House.
Oh, yeah, somebody was telling me about Shantae. They asked me if I knew him.
I got two things going on here at the same time that are killing me. And I don't know where that one is. Oh, there it is. Found it. It was a whatchamacallit. Nice. All right.
Okay, well, guys,
Thanks for the breath warning. I appreciate it. I just chowed down a sandwich. She looked at me. She's like,
no, you had something on your lip.
oh, I'm like, no, I thought my shit was.
No, I wouldn't have told you that.
Oh, yes, I was feeling it. So. I know I just killed this sandwich. Let me go do something.
But if your breath was funky, I would have told you that too.
Thank you. This is Shantae. All right, guys.
All right.